It is time now for Inside Out as we welcome in SNY NFL insider Connor Hughes. Now, from a pure football standpoint, Connor, what do you think will be different in the Giants' offense with DeVito at the helm?
Well, I wanted to make this clear, is that Tommy DeVito is not the same caliber of quarterback that Daniel Jones is. Jones is a more accurate player. Jones has more arm strength. Jones has more athletic ability. He's a bigger, stronger player. But the issue with Daniel Jones is that he's just been in a funk throughout this year. And I don't know if it was the knee injury last year, the 2 neck injuries that he's had throughout his career, but he's just not necessarily the player that he was when the Giants drafted him out of Duke. So what they are hoping is that while Tommy DeVito might not necessarily be as physically gifted as Jones is, he can make some of the throws that Jones right now is not. Because when you go and you watch the all-22 of the Giants offense, plays are there to be made. Receivers are open. Jones just isn't hitting them. The perfect example being the flea flicker that Brian Dable dialed up that had both Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson open. Jones didn't pull the trigger. The hope is that Tommy DeVito will.
All right, that's on the field, but the new Giants depth chart at QB is raising eyebrows, and as one might imagine, the $5 million man Drew Lock was peppered with questions Wednesday about not being named the starter.
When they tell you, you know, it's based on what they saw last year, the kind of the juice that it gave the team, how do you not wonder, well, why was I the number 2 the whole time then? Why wasn't he the number 2 then, if that's what you saw?
Again, that's a question I might still have for myself. It was expressed to me that I was going to be the 2, and I don't know, it's just an interesting situation. Not much I can really say about it besides, again, I'm gonna be here for him, and we're still communicating, still very good friends, believe it or not. I'm gonna be here for him. This team needs to get a win, and when you start winning, everything gets a little better around here.
You gotta love we're still very good friends, believe it or not. Connor, it makes sense that Locke is a little perturbed and a little confused, but how is the reshuffling of the quarterbacks going over in the locker room?
Well, Dexter Lawrence actually spoke at a charity event to Ryan Dunleavy, the New York Post, and Charlotte Carroll, the Athletic, and he straight up said that he believes that Daniel Jones is this team's best quarterback. And I asked Brian Dable before practice this afternoon, look, the locker room is very, very key in this, Eamon. I mean, they do not want to feel like they are not being put in the best position to win because they realize that their careers are on the line. And one of the big ways to lose a locker room or fracture a locker room is when they don't necessarily believe that the coaches are putting them in the right position and best position to win on Sundays. I think this week in this game that we've got coming up here against the Buccaneers for the Giants, it is a very, very big measuring stick for this team because if they go out there and the offense looks worse, if Tommy DeVito is taking 5, 6, 7 sacks, not completing a high percentage of his passes, and the offense regresses, you're going to have a lot of people looking around saying, wait a minute, why is this guy in there? Why are we not playing Daniel Jones still? Why are we not playing Drew Lock? I mean, it is a on the fence right now locker room, in my opinion, and it's imperative that this offense gets going this weekend, or it could get ugly.
You mentioned putting the team in position to win. That's an interesting subject right now for this franchise. Last year, of course, there was DeVito mania when he helped the Giants win 3 straight games. Here's the age-old question, Connor, and you're hearing it from fans on X. Do they really want to win those games this year?
No, those wins that Tommy DeVito strung together a year ago, that's why Jaden Daniels is not this team's quarterback right now. That's why Drake May is not this team's quarterback. Those wins in a meaningless situation took the Giants out of a position where they could have drafted a quarterback, and now they're going to need to draft a quarterback in a quarterback class that is significantly worse than the one a year ago. I talked to one assistant general manager who summarized the class as this, quote, unquote. That's what he said about it. So the Giants, unfortunately, and this is where another scout described it to me, is it's a bad year to need a quarterback. The Giants, unfortunately, need one, but losing games and picking as high as possible, it will at least give them their choice of an overall subpar prospect class.
Yeah, meaningless football, something we're getting all too familiar with here in the New York area. Connor Hughes, thanks for joining us here on Honda Sportsnite.